Alright, so hello everyone, welcome to another video, and as you can probably tell, I am sick, but that is not the point of this video. What I'm going to talk about today is that I am no longer going to do videos for other video games. I'm just going to stick to Warframe, which may ultimately bite me in the ass in the long term. Now, the reason for that is kind of obvious, but not really, alright? So, the response to the Fallout videos wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Up front, you know, when you just look at the video and on the video page, it's not too bad, but when you look at the actual statistics behind that video, it's pretty bad, especially the one that I released yesterday. And funny enough, that was the same case with the Path of Exile videos that I did last year with the Delve, right? It looked fine when you just look at the video page. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of views, but the like to dislike ratio was fine and all that. But when you look at the actual statistics behind the video, it's not good. Now, I cannot fault people for reacting this way because I understand why they did it, right? This sits on my shoulders. This is my issue, something that I did. And I have been on the other side of the situation that I'm in now. I watched YouTube channels that did content that I was interested in, and as they started releasing content that I wasn't interested in, I just watched them less and less and less until eventually I stopped, even though they still release videos that I was interested in. So even though some people might say, well, don't like it, don't watch it, it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. I think my biggest issue here is that I became very comfortable, perhaps too comfortable with this job, with making videos. And that may sound odd to you, it's good to be comfortable with a job, but it seems like the most popular videos that I ever made were the ones made when I was on the verge of a panic attack, just desperately trying to cobble them together before the day was over. And then I sat here extremely anxious, waiting for the response, and it ended up being really good. And insanely enough, whenever I feel really comfortable with a video and I feel like that video is going to be really good and you guys are going to like it, the response usually ends up being mediocre. Though one thing to bear in mind here is that my definition of a mediocre response and a good response has changed drastically over time. When I first started, I was amazed and really happy when one of my videos got 1,000 views. That was amazing. I was just gobsmacked by that. Then it went up to 2,000 views, then 5,000 views, and then 10,000 views, and nowadays, a mediocre response for me is between 15 and 20,000, with a good video piercing above 30,000. So that once again might be my own fault. I expect to perform better every time, but at the same time I can't expect this channel to grow forever. I mean, yeah, it's been growing, few subscribers at a time, but it's been growing, but not as fast as it used to. And that's fine, I was okay when I had 10,000 subscribers, I was okay when I had 20, 50, 100,000. I was amazed when I had 100,000 and I never thought I would get as many as I do now. And there are definitely ways to make the channel grow faster, the whole like and subscribe and press the bell. There is a reason why people do it, it's because it works. I refuse to do it because I believe that if people like the video, they will press the like button, and if they like my content, they will subscribe. It's the same reason why I don't do clickbaity titles in all caps and red arrows in the thumbnails. I know they work, they do make it more likely that people will click on the video, but I am just happier with myself knowing that people watch my videos because they actually care about the video. They want to watch the video, not because they got baited into watching the video by a title or something. And it allows me to do some pretty cool things, like when I do a giveaway, I don't necessarily have to put the giveaway into the title to, bait people into watching the video, and that lets me give away whatever I'm giving away to people that care, that support me. I don't do it every time because sometimes the giveaway is literally the only thing that I'm talking about in the video, but if there is something else, like there's an unvaulting and I'm doing a giveaway for that unvaulting, the title is going to be about the unvaulting, not the giveaway. Now, I quickly want to go back to my desire to perform better every time, kind of hurting me overall. Because there is one more thing, and I don't see it as a mistake myself, but from a content creation point of view, it was probably a mistake, and that's the fact that I try to ram as much stuff into one video as possible. Because while I personally see that as a good thing, it definitely cripples the amount of content I can produce. One thing I could do, for example, theoretically, is just make a fashion frame video for one of my Warframes whenever I don't have a video for that day. But I can't do that anymore because I instead decided to make a fashion frame outro for every single Warframe I have and constantly update them as I change the fashion frame, and I put them in the end of the video. And I think it was a really good idea and it went down really well. Because I remember people asking all the time about my fashion frame, and not necessarily because they wanted to do the same thing, but because they saw a particular color that they liked, or a piece of attachment that they liked, or even an alternative helmet that they liked, and they wanted to know what it was. And the fashion frame outros solve that problem, because if you wait until the end of the video, you can see all the colors, you can see all the attachments, and all the alternative helmets or whatever I'm wearing in that video. And this is not the only example of that happening, right? If you remember back when I started, the way I did farming videos is I did one for each resource. So I would have a farming guide for neurodes, and a farming guide for autokin cells, and a farming guide for mutagen samples, and so on and so on and so on. But eventually I got this ambitious idea that I've spent a long time working on, and it was the ultimate resource farming guide, where I show you where to farm all the resources at once, and you have timestamps that will lead you to different resources. And once again, I thought that was a really good idea, and it went down really well. It was a very, very well received video, but instead of having a month worth of videos, I ended up with one. It's just such a counterintuitive way of doing things, right? I try to produce 5 Warframe videos a week, every week, yet at the same time I'm trying to make as few videos covering different subjects as possible. But anyway, I'm just blabbering at this point. I just keep going on and on and on about different things that are probably not too interesting to you. So the point here is that I'm not going to be covering other video games on this channel anymore. If I ever decide to cover other video games, it's going to be on the second channel, MC Gamer Season Extra, that's been inactive for a very long time at this point. I thank you very much for watching. I hope you understand. Let me know what you think about this whole, well, everything that I talked about. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.